So we've seen one of the big problems with this picture of what the gods love and hate already, and that's that the gods disagree. There's a much bigger problem though, and it's one that's persisted throughout religion and theology for 2,500 years since it was created. It's called the Euthyphro Dilemma. Of course, philosophers aren't very creative in their names. It's named for the dialogue in which it occurs. And so first we should talk about what a dilemma actually is. A dilemma is a set of two very bad choices, and so the classic picture is of a bull charging at you. You can pick two things, right? You can get stabbed by the left horn or by the right horn. Neither is very good. And so classically we call each choice of the dilemma a horn. This is a classic sort of damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario. So we have two choices here. Either something is holy because the gods love it, or the gods love it because it's holy. We can sub in just the word good for holy too, and it makes it a little even scarier. We know Euthyphro picks the latter one. He thinks the gods love things because they're holy. We'll talk about that one second. Actually, we want to run through both choices and show why this is such a problem. So here's the first possibility. This is the one that Euthyphro does not pick, and it's that something is holy because the gods love it. The problem here is that the gods can be fickle, and this isn't restricted to just the Athenian, the Greek gods. This could be any god. This could be a Christian god, a Jewish god, an Islamic god, a Shinto god. It doesn't matter. So here's the thing, is the gods get to just pick what's holy. Whatever they love, it's holy. This doesn't seem so bad, right? Because we generally think that gods are really good, but there's nothing constraining the gods from being really bad in this case. Right? So if the gods decided that murder is a holy thing, that rape or theft or child abuse is a holy thing, that's a holy thing. That's a good thing. That's what they've declared. There's nothing stopping them because there's nothing actually about the act that is inherently bad. This seems crazy, right? We know that murder is wrong. We know that rape is wrong. We know that child abuse is wrong. But on this first horn, there's nothing about it that rules it out. This is why Euthyphro won't pick this one. The second horn is the one he does pick. It's that the gods love things because they're holy. This one has a different problem than the first horn, but it's still not a good thing. The problem here is that the gods just don't matter, whether it's the Greek gods or anyone else. The holiness is what's doing all the work. Right, so there are just some holy things out there in the world, and it doesn't matter what it is that made them holy. They're just out there, and they're holy, whatever they are. Right? If it's in Greece, it's probably, glorious battles and brave people. If it's modern day, it's miracles and great sacrifices for the sake of others. The gods have nothing to do with it, though. These things are just holy, whether the gods like it or think about it or anything or not. And so they notice these things and they go, hey, that's holy, that's great, I love it, in the same way that people do. We look at miracles or great victories or whatever and we go, that's great, we like it. But it's not because the gods have anything to do with it, it's just because of something about the thing. So in this case, the gods don't matter. Euthyphro doesn't like this either, and so when Socrates points out the problem to him, he's going to just abandon this definition entirely. This is something we should definitely talk about in forum discussions. There's a lot here. It's still a problem for really any religion today, so worth thinking about. Euthyphro's going to give one last try. He was stumped by this Euthyphro dilemma. Of course, it's not called the Euthyphro dilemma at the point, but he's still stumped by it. Socrates is going to give him a little push here. He's going to say, well, could piety be part of justice? And Euthyphro loves it. He's like, well, of course it's part of justice. Justice is a great thing. It's the part of justice that it has to do with serving the gods. Well, we need to figure out what it actually means to serve the gods. There are two options. They're pretty straightforward. One is service, sort of like servicing a car. When you take your car in for service, you're looking to fix it or to improve it to prevent bad things from happening. This one's not the one that's going on with the gods, right? It would be downright impious, sort of sinful in a way, Euthyphro thinks, to suggest that we could improve the gods. Instead, we need to serve them sort of like a servant. This has two parts. We pray to the gods to ask them for things, and then we give things to the gods, which could be prayer too, right? This could be sort of holy fealty, but could also be actually giving up things or doing good works. Here's the problem with service, is the kinds of prayers that ask for things from the gods don't matter, right? We're not serving them by asking them for things. So sacrifice must be what's important. How does it serve the gods, though, doing good works or actually sacrificing physical things? Well, it can't improve them, right? We talked about that before. It must just be that it makes them happy. Uh-oh. Now we come around full circle, right? If sacrifice is just about making the gods happy, we're back to the Euthyphro dilemma. Does it make them happy because it's good, or is it good because it makes them happy? As soon as Socrates points this out, Euthyphro just runs. He goes, look at the time, and gets out of Dodge. He'd rather go to court than keep talking about this. So the dialogue ends and we don't have a final answer. This is not one where we get a definition by the end. Socrates isn't done talking about this, though. He's going to talk about it a lot in his trial defense, which is called the Apology. So we'll see a lot more of this next week, but for now, we're sort of just left wondering, and Socrates is okay with this for now.